Hey everybody, what is up? The name is Brett here, and today we're going to talk about Hamilton a little bit. So as you know, Hamilton the musical just got released on Disney Plus a few days ago. Anyways, just want to get my thoughts on the show and everything. One, it was a great show. I loved it. I loved it way more than I thought I was going to. I believe the show came out in 2015, and when it did, I hated it. I hated the songs, I hated the plot, I hated the premise, I hated every little thing about the show. I never saw it, but I hated it. I was a musical theater kid, but when it came out, every single person loved it. All my friends, all my theater productions, like, that's all anyone could talk about. I hated it. I hated the music. I hated it all so much. Like, people would sing it and I'd be like, oh my god, like, I thought it was horrible. Like, even now, I'm still, like, kind of iffy on the whole thing. My partner, he loved it. He loved Hamilton. For some reason, he thought it was, like, the best musical, and I was like, oh my god, this man is insane. And then just like over time, I think just gradually being more into the album and everything, I grew to love it. Now I love the music of Hamilton. But with that, we're gonna go into the show. I call it a mistake. Decided to watch it when it dropped. So it went on Disney Plus at 12 a.m. At 12 a.m. It is a 3-hour show. 3 hours. I went to my partner's house. We got coffee. Me, him, and his sister. We got some coffee, and we decided to watch it all night. We played board games leading up to it. We listened to some of the soundtrack beforehand too, and we watched it from 12 to 3. Oh my god, it was literally fantastic. It was one of the best shows I think I've ever watched. I really want to see it live now because of it. I know like people's big things about why they shouldn't like record theater productions and make them accessible to everyone is people are like,
well, if you can see it for free, like if you can watch it online or buy the DVD, why would you want to go see it in person?
Me personally, for like shows I haven't seen in person, but like I've seen the movie version, I want to see it. I'm more likely to go buy tickets to that show. So I think having Hamilton like streamed and made mainstream, making it more accessible to everybody, making it cheaper than going to go see it live is really going to help with it. Like, I want to see it live now from watching that. Like, oh my god, the show is fantastic. If you have not seen it yet, for sure watch it. I like how they didn't make it a movie. They made it a musical. It was a recording of the actual production on Broadway, which I thought was fantastic. A fantastic idea. I love movie musicals, don't get me wrong. I love Rent, I love Les Mis, I love Hairspray, I love Mamma Mia, like I love West Side Story, don't get me wrong. But I love how they didn't make it a movie. I don't know, like Hamilton's different, because it's not like regular. It's like rap and it's super neat. I don't know how they'd make it a movie, but I'm glad they chose to like just film it straight up, which is a great idea. I think that was a great idea. I wonder if they are ever gonna make it like an actual like movie, which would be interesting to see. But I love how they used the original Broadway cast. I love how they did that. Like, A+, great work. I know from what I've read, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Alexander Hamilton, also the entire creator of the show, wanted this mainstream from the very beginning. I guess when they filmed it, it was early on in production. Like, it hadn't been out for that long when they filmed it. They filmed it over 3 performances, and those 3 performances are pretty early on in the show's lifespan, which makes sense. It's the original Broadway cast. The original Broadway cast usually doesn't stay around for that long. It's super cool. I know he always wanted it in mainstream media, but he didn't know how to do it. But I'm glad he figured it out through Disney. I guess this wasn't even gonna go on Disney Plus. It was gonna be theatrically released next year, but because of the whole pandemic, they're like, people need something to do. Let's give them Hamilton. Let's give them Hamilton on Disney Plus, which I love that. I thought the musical was fantastic. Absolutely, I really can't say anything more about it. How much I loved it. I loved it so much. Something I think that's really cool about the cast, if at least the original Broadway cast, I don't know if they still do this, but I believe everybody in the main cast is POC, is a person of color. Everyone in there is some sort of not white. Which is so cool because there are so many musicals. Most of the musicals out there, most shows on Broadway are all white people. Or if there are people of color, like in Hairspray, they're black people being segregated against. In Hamilton, there really is no reason for there to be people of color in it. Which you don't need a reason. There's musicals, there's no reason for these to be white people. There's no reason for an all-white cast of Cats, I believe. There's no reason for it to be an all-white cast other than white's the normal. So the fact that Hamilton goes against that and is like, no, we're not hiring any white actors. Everyone is gonna be a person of color, except King George. Almost said George Washington, except King George. King George will be white and crazy, but he will be white, and he's the only white character. And what I think only white actor, and what is also super cool about King George is that's Kristoff from Frozen. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, King George and the original Broadway cast is Kristoff from Frozen. I think about that sometimes. That's so funny. But yeah, that's all. I just want to talk a little bit about Hamilton, my thoughts on it. Loved it. If you have not seen it yet, please watch. So yeah, I'm excited to watch Hamilton again. I hope y'all watched Hamilton. I hope you all loved it. But yeah, anyways, that's everything. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe down below. Bye!